We're in London Fields and we're gonna go inside Vanessa's flat, but first let me give you an overview of the area. London Fields is part of the Hackney borough of East London and was named London Fields because a few centuries ago it was literally just a field for livestock, well, in London. London Fields is also the name of the popular public park in the heart of the area where you'll always find locals exercising and meeting friends to hang out. London Fields is also where you'll find Broadway Market, a village-like street lined with cafes, shops, and restaurants, almost all locally owned. Broadway Market is also the name of the famous Saturday market that pops up here with tons of stalls selling food, drinks, vintage clothing, gifts, and a lot more. Another major part of this area is Regents Canal, which is home to Londoners who live on their houseboats and is a lifeline of Hackney and surrounding areas, with locals using it for their commute to work or to just go for a nice stroll or cycle along the water. I do want to note that like many other areas in London, London Fields has gone through a major gentrification process over the last couple of decades, turning from what was considered one of the more rougher areas of London back in the 80s and 90s to being a very in-demand area, which has pushed up rent prices and housing prices for locals that have lived here for a very long time. Again, with the unaffordability of London housing, this is unfortunately happening in many areas around the city. Right, so Vanessa owns a flat right off of Regents Canal here, so we're gonna go up and have a look. Hiya, come in. Welcome.
I'm Vanessa. I am a content team leader for a conglomerate called A.S. Watson. So we own lots of health and beauty brands across the globe. And basically I work with a great in-house team and we produce lots of content. I bought the flat in June 2020. So yeah, right in the middle of the pandemic last year. I paid 385 grand for my flat, which for this area is like unheard of. So I got very, very lucky. And my monthly mortgage payments are about £500 a month. So when I bought the flat, it was not in a good state. So it hadn't really had much love for the 5 years that the guy had previously owned it. So it needed a lot of work, and I think that's what scared a lot of people off. I tried to kind of keep what I could because of the cost and the budget. It was really just kind of putting my own stamp on the place, making it look a lot more loved. And I had like a tight budget of £12,000 and I basically spent exactly £12,000. So I spent all of my budget on renovating, but that included the flooring, the kitchen, the workman cost as well, all of the paint, new radiators, a shower. So to be honest, for what I spent, it was really good. All of my furniture is secondhand. Facebook Marketplace is my favourite thing in the world. I will tell you a little bit about the hallway first, because this is probably where we did the most drastic change. So the door actually used to be here to the living room, and the door to the bedroom was where in front of me where I'm standing, and the bathroom stayed the same. So this is my kitchen over here, and then I've got like a dining room space that I've cornered here, and this is an extendable table, so when I've got friends round I can host more people. So from the kitchen, I think you can tell I'm a bit obsessed with gold, so I knew that I wanted gold fixings, but it was actually quite difficult to get a tap and the plug for the sink in gold as well, so I had to do a lot of digging on the internet. But what I did is I bought all my cabinets from Magnet, and then I've got all my appliances built in as well. I don't have anything sticking out and it saves a lot of space, plus a mini dishwasher, which is a dream. So all the carcasses were bought, and then everything was bought separately on top. So I got the wooden worktops off like just a basic worktop company, and my builder fitted them. And then my tap was secondhand because someone had opened the packet. So you can look for things like that on websites to get things at a reduced cost. But yeah, my kitchen's got everything I need, and it's probably one of the favourite bits of my flat actually. Really love it. This is my main living room area, so this is where I kind of socialise and chill with friends, relax in the evenings, and at the moment, like, everyone is working from home, so that is my office space over there in the corner. So one of my favourite things in this room is probably all of my plants. So as you can see, I have loads. Columbia Road Flower Market is around the corner every single Sunday, and it's one of London's best flower markets, so you can find me there most weeks. And then some other bits to pick out. I love storage hacks. So rather than coffee tables, I bought chests. So this one that has the television on over here doubles up as like a really good storage solution. So I've got lots of stuff in there. And then lastly, I would say the artwork was a big thing for me. So I'm quite like arty and I love drawing. So I did all my own artwork in here. I think the last thing is probably the importance of this sofa. So this sofa was the inspiration for the whole colour scheme of my flat. So when I found this, I knew that how I kind of wanted things to look and what the colour scheme would be based on. So yeah, this sofa was quite important in the whole design of my flat. And I'll take you in and show you the bathroom now. So the bathroom was probably the area that I needed to do the least amount of work, luckily, because it can be quite expensive. So all the tiling had already been done, but all of the floor tiles were cracked, and there was no shower in this bathroom when I moved in. There is probably my favourite storage space hack in my flat in here. So if you have a look here, I have panels in my bath which can open. So if you look online, you can find storage bath panels, and it's such a great way to give you loads of storage for your cleaning equipment, and they just clip on with magnets. The flooring, I couldn't afford tiles at the time in my budget, so these are just vinyl stickers from Etsy. You can find loads of really good ones on there with so many great patterns, and it was really in keeping with the mustard yellow and the teal that I've done in the living room as well. Lastly is my bedroom. This is like my coziest room and one of my favourite rooms. I think it's really light and bright, and I managed to do things in here on a really low budget. The wardrobes here were one of my biggest cost-saving pieces in the flat. So I kept the original frame of the old wardrobes, but I didn't like the doors on the front. So I just bought these cheap sliders with mirrors on, and it's managed to give my room a kind of a feeling of it being a lot bigger with all the mirrors. And then I'll show you the last thing, which is the view. So I'm really lucky to be on the canal, and it's probably the best thing about this flat. So if you look outside, you can see directly the canal, which is perfect in the summer, and you can sit and watch the world go by. So yeah, that's my bedroom and my flat. I live in Broadway Market in Hackney, or some people call it London Fields, and it's almost like living in a village in London. Yeah, I just wake up every day happy to be here, basically. As cringy as it sounds. No. So true.
I totally get it.
The flat hunting process wasn't easy, like it isn't for anybody. I was on Rightmove basically daily, but this flat had been on the market for quite a long time, I think about a year, and I kept coming back to it and I kept looking at it, but the pictures didn't look that great. I think it was on for 400 or 395, so I did offer lower than the kind of asking price, but basically came to see it, and I walked in the door and I knew it was a flat for me. I just got that gut feeling. No other way you can describe it. I'd seen about 6 other flats. I don't know, I felt something, so I knew this was the one.
If you want to peek into more London homes, then watch more of my London Unlocked series by clicking one of the boxes that's popping up right next to me.
Yeah, I've got a lot of storage saving hacks.
Love it.
Yeah.
So many Werners.
I know.
Exactly.
That's what I think if I lived in one of these houseboats, imagine just hearing that all the time.